Hey everyone, welcome to my channel as a married man. Thanks for tuning in and checking it out. I appreciate it. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing an article and it's titled Five Things I Wish I'd Known Before I Became a Single Mom by Choice. And this article was featured in today's Parent and it was written by Jaime Herndon. So just wanted to give a quick shout out to the author, to the source, and make sure they get their props. If you are interested in checking this article out, reading it, I'll post the link in the bio for you. But to get started, the author starts. She starts by talking about how she wrote an essay a couple of years ago about becoming a single mother by choice. And she details about why she chose to use a sperm donor, and especially doing this at the age of 35. And 2 years later, she goes on to talk about how people managed to track her down. People found her. They looked her up on Facebook. She was bombarded with questions, and she even managed to make some friends in the single mother community, which is nice. Um, she goes on to talk about basically parenthood. It's one of those things that, it doesn't come with an instruction manual. You kind of got to learn by doing, uh, which is true. But to get into the meat of the article, the author does go on to state five things she wish she would have known before going into this. And start number one, that it is exhausting. It's so freaking exhausting. She states in bold type, so freaking exhausting. I used to hate it when parents would say this to non-parents. As a grad student, I was exhausted all the time. I knew exhaustion, she says. This, however, is a different type of exhaustion, though. Um, Her tiny tot is tiring her out, basically, is what she laments. He now wakes up 1 to 4 times a night. Sleep deprivation has affected my mood, my physical, my mental health, my entire life. She states at the end, there's a reason it is used as a form of torture, which is sleep deprivation. Um, And as a single parent, though, there's no one else to take turns waking up in the middle of the night. That's kind of how she ends that point. You're kind of on your own at this point. Um, so yeah. And number two, she states it's lonely. This is a feeling I've found to be pretty pervasive among single mothers, is what the author states. But no one wants to talk about it. And I thought that was a good point right there. Loneliness is pervasive amongst single mothers, but no one wants to talk about it. It's lonely basically when you're handling all this baby stuff and it's just you handling all this baby stuff. That pretty much sums up that point right there. Sheer loneliness of it all. Point three, however, is and self-care matters. Um, here, here she just talks about how she takes time for herself. She stays up a little bit later at night after her kids gone to bed. She stays up a little later to read. She takes time to do yoga or just the simple Starbucks run. Now, this one's pretty straightforward. You just take a minute to take a minute to look after yourself. Um, Number four is you need to find your mom group. Uh, really, basically, as a single mom, you need a support system. And she goes on to say it's not enough to have family or extended family or even some friends. You need a mom group, like in real life or online. Then she says once again, you need that space, that time to yourself. And use this time, though, spend it amongst other single moms or like-minded individuals, I guess, because well, that's pretty much all you got when you're alone. So she's stating, like family, extended family, friends, that's it's not really quite enough. You need to find a bigger support group out there. And finally, number five is it's titled "It's Okay to Not Always Love It." Although the author, she always wanted to be a mom, she wonders if she pretty much bit off more than she could chew. And she goes on to state how overwhelming it is. It's hard, so hard, she says. Frustrating, exasperating, tedious. And she talks a bit more about the logistics, I guess. Things from making appointments and negotiating with insurance companies, therapists, finances, I guess. And yeah, there's no one to give her a day off. And in the end, she doesn't doubt her ability to weather it in one piece, but she quotes, "I just wish I didn't have to." That's pretty impactful right there. Like, she doesn't doubt she can actually do it. She just kind of wishes she didn't have to do it by herself. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the article. It's really short, not a lot to dig into. It's basically just a single mother who is single by choice, and she's griping about single motherhood, unfortunately. So, as a married man, um, I just reiterate it's a quick article where um, a 35-year-old woman, she decided to use IVF, the in vitro fertilization, to get pregnant. So she decided to get pregnant. She decided to do it alone. And the one kicker I took out of this is yeah, if you noticed in her five things I wish I'd known, she listed five negative aspects. And just, to quickly go through them, the married man style, number one, she just proclaimed that it's exhausting. And that's true. As a married man, and I'm also a father of two girls, two teens now. No comment. But I can attest to the fact that, yeah, like, babies are tiring. And even working as a team with your mom, I'm sorry, with their mom, or I guess I can even say your mom, or your partner if you're a same-sex couple. If you're doing it alone, it's just that much more difficult. Pretty much, these babies are a lot of work. And oof, they sure are tiring. Number two is she stated that it's lonely. This one kind of, because I thought it was kind of sad, to be honest. Like, it kind of shows the dark truth about being a single parent, uh, about single moms and stuff like that. And like, even the author herself proclaims, like, it's something that no one wants to really talk about. Um, And that is a big thing, like loneliness. Yeah, and it's crazy to think about having a baby or a small child and just feeling alone, even when you're with them. Just, there's a piece missing, that special person in your life isn't there, and she's pretty much, that's kind of what it alludes to, in my opinion. Just going about it up by yourself is, yeah, not a good thing, pretty much. Her third point was about self-care, and honestly, to be honest, like all the single moms I've ever met and that I've ever worked with and stuff, they do seem that. Well, I guess there's two categories. There's ones that are like they always seem put together. It's like they spend most of the money on themselves, unfortunately. And then there's those that are just they look this haggard. And I guess her point in this one was just get your crap together, in regards to hygiene, but not just hygiene, just self-care as in self-love, as in like take a time out just for you. You know what I mean? Um, and yeah, God forbid, I know I've heard a lot of single mothers like lament about how they never have time for themselves. And I guess the author's point here is just you take that time for yourself. You're gonna need it. You know what I mean? So I understand what she's getting at. And that's something, even a married couple can relate to. Just kids are overwhelming. Um, Number four in her list is to find a mom group. This one I. Was interesting, Uh, like the other states that she states that family, extended family, and friends aren't enough in her words. Like, and that sucks. And like, I know that most single moms, they barely even have family to support them, let alone a support group. And yeah, like I said, the author, she talks about loneliness and isolation. So finding a support group outside of just immediate family, that could be difficult. And for a single mom, it could be even worse, I could imagine. Yeah, it's a big negative. I can totally understand. The last was it's okay to not always love it. That's number five. It's okay to not always love it. By love it, she means being a single mother, not loving the kid, of course. Um, it seems that with this one, she's pretty, like, she's overwhelmed basically, and there's a million little things to do, and she's right, it wears you down. But that pretty much sums up the article, in my opinion, of what she had to say point by point. As a married man, like my opinion of this article is, like it shows that even a woman who wanted to be a single mother, like finds it challenging. Like she went to this knowing that she was going to be alone. She went into this knowing what was going to happen, that there was no backup, so to speak. She just went in on it by herself, and like, she's finding it very challenging. Um, like as a married man, I can only imagine these quote unquote like baby mamas, these women, especially young women who get pregnant with a dude, and he ditches them midway and leaves them hanging, and that's something that happens a lot. Like that's an article to in the near future. It's not always that woman's fault, it's just you can't, like, I don't, as a married man, I don't just blame these baby mamas. I know, oh, to be fair, it's not always their fault that they end up alone. Um, Sometimes it is, I'll admit, but sometimes they go into it with good intentions, thinking they'll have a man at their side, and yeah, he goes out for cigarettes, so to speak, and never comes back. Um, but yeah, I did notice one thing the author did not talk about, um, maybe because just, she was prepared for it in these aspects. But one thing she doesn't talk about is the financial burden that it causes, um, future relationship aspects, and the stigma you get from both men and women. Like those are three things she didn't really get into, which I know are big topics in the single mom community. And yeah, like I said, there is a stigma towards single mothers. It is what it is. I'm trying not to judge them personally, but it's that's a tough one to be honest, guys. Like I know this is a huge MTOW talking point. Uh, God knows single moms are the butt of so many jokes in the MTOW community. And in the quote, like the manosphere where I hang out, like the red pill, MTOW, men's relationship channels I listen to, the podcasts, and the secret women hating groups and of MTOW that are the white supremacist groups. Apparently, it's what MTOW is. I found out in the past couple weeks. But I know these MTOW guys. They specifically state dating a single mom is like an absolute, like a cardinal sin, And like I said, I'll do another video on dating single moms in the near future here for my, I don't think I have like 9 subscribers or something, but I did. I will know that I will say that aside from these MGTOW dudes, aside from them, there are guys who are willing to step up. And I'll be nice. I'm not gonna call them betas or simps or all that stuff. Provide beta male providers and whatever the hell these M towers call these poor guys. Um, there are guys willing to date single women, and yeah, that's a good thing. I don't know what to say as from the perspective as a married man. That's kind of not my area of expertise. Would I date if I was single, would I date a single mother? Um, like probably not. Unless she's like a war widow or her husband passed away unexpectedly or sadly. It's something that she had no control over, you know what I mean? But I just think, my last point real quick is as a married man, I just think it's hard to believe that some women do turn to IVF and that they do choose to be single mothers. Like most single mothers don't want to be single mothers. So it's hard to imagine this small minority of single mothers that went into it their eyes open and they wanted it. And then, that kind of blows my mind a little bit. Like personally, I think it's sad. Um, I will give them props for wanting little Gerber in their lives, a little having a little kid in their lives. I will give these women props for that, but I think it's sad that they chose that option to do it solo. I'm sure they had reasons and whatnot, but like I love kids and everything, so I understand a woman's want to have a kid, even if it is IVF. Stated in past videos how I feel like procreation. It's like a biological imperative is what I call it. Like I think every animal out there, from human beings to, the animal kingdom. Every creature has its imperative to want to reproduce, and humans are no exception. And it's nice knowing there are women who want to have kids, and who sometimes can't have kids, and who go forward anyways. It's two sides to the coin. It's a bigger issue. I just think it's sad that they do it with IVF alone instead of not choosing a stable family to do it with, a husband in a marriage and whatnot. All as I'm married now, all the stuff that I advocate for: marriage, husband, a wife, partners. I'm not discriminating against same-sex families or anything. Um, just two people bonded in love and in marriage, and who want to share their lives together, and who choose to have children and to raise those children and have a stable family and play a part in their community. And we got to boost those marriage rates, fellas. You just got to find that woman who wants to share the dream with you. But anyways, more importantly, let me know what you guys think. Feel free to drop me a comment, and, as they say, smash that like button. Please subscribe, and this video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends, and et cetera, et cetera. All that sort of stuff you hear on YouTube. Um, hey guys, help me get to those double-digit subscribers. What did I say? I was at 7 or 9 or something. I'm trying to get double digits. That's I think my channel's 2 weeks old. I think I'm slipping behind at this point. I think I've plateaued, unfortunately. My wife can't make any more YouTube sock accounts at this point. I'm on my own here, so you know, please share and like and subscribe and all that stuff. Um, and if you have any future video ideas, or you just want to laugh and point at me, you can reach me by email. My email is asamarriedman@outlook.com. But all right. Man, I hope you guys liked the video. I hope to hear from you in the future. I hope you help my channel grow. I'd appreciate it. And I hope to see you in the next one. So bye for now, everybody.